Today, plastic is getting more accessible and cheap all over the world.
There are now billions of pieces of harmful plastic that are wrecking our oceans, lakes, and rivers in which they float. Society, as we know, cannot be sustained if we continue using plastics at our current rate. An average American uses 167 plastic, non-reusable water bottles in 1 year. That's 317 being used every second.
In our everyday life, there are many political, economic, and social issues that are out of our control. However, by being proactive, we can reduce the impact on our environment, specifically in the usage of non-reusable plastic water bottles. Why do people use bottled water in the first place?
A recent survey of U.S. citizens who drink bottled water showed that close to 50% mentioned their consumption was based on avoiding risks associated with tap water.
According to the NRDC, tap water is regulated by the Environmental Protection Agency, which is required to provide residents with detailed information on the tap water source.
However, the Food and Drug Administration, which regulates bottled water, does not require companies to disclose to consumers where the water came from. In fact, most bottled water actually comes from the same source as your city's water supply. There have now been cases against Pepsi Aquafina and Coca-Cola Dasani where it has been proved that they use tap water in their bottles. People don't often think about what it takes to produce a product, and it's hard to even imagine what will happen to it after its use. Like most products, a bottle of water is made in a factory overseas. From production to consumer, each year, 17 million barrels of oil are used for making plastic water bottles. America will use 50 billion plastic water bottles a year, with 33 billion of these ending up in a landfill, where it will take more than 1,000 years to decompose fully.
In fact, the first plastic ever invented is still sitting in a landfill and will be for the next 900 years. The remaining 12 billion bottles will get recycled. Although not ideal, this is the best option. It takes a considerable amount of energy to be repurposed. This process can only be repeated so many times until the product is turned into something non-recyclable and will have to be thrown in a landfill.
When a plastic water bottle doesn't end up in a landfill or recycling center, it will be blown into the ocean, ending up in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch.
Here, millions of pieces of plastic are being broken down into tiny microplastics, creating a cloudy soup. This soup is extremely destructive to marine ecosystems, where animals will eat the plastic, causing them to get sick and die.
Using reusable water bottles is the best alternative to bottled water. They are easy, cheap, and better for the environment. It's important to make sure you use a bottle from a reliable company. BPA-free plastic, stainless steel, and glass water bottles are the best option of reusable water bottles to use and carry around wherever you go. Filtered water refilling stations are becoming more prominent in schools, malls, airports, and other public areas.
If you're upset with the taste of your water from home, you can install or use an inexpensive portable water filter.
Scientists are currently discovering new ways of cleaning up the plastic in the oceans, but they are unable to keep up with the overwhelming amount of plastic being added each year. If everyone uses reusable water bottles a little more and bottled water a lot less, each individual can save 167 bottles of water a year from ending up in our landfills and oceans, which will create a drastic change in the total amount of plastic that is in our world. Our environment is in need of assistance. We can't go on wasting products, especially plastic. By leaving our plastic products to end up in the oceans, we are giving the next generation the task of cleaning up our mess.
We can't undo what we've already done, but we can correct what we're about to do. By reducing the use of bottled water in our day-to-day lives, we will begin to see a positive impact on our health and our environment. It takes all of us together.
Saving the world, one bottle at a time! I can see